All right, last video for today. Question 10, let's face it, it's just kind of weird. Um, I'd like to have a word with whoever wrote this one, but we're going to try and figure it out. We're dealing with inputs and outputs, functions. And so basically, as we learned in class, the most important thing to remember is every input can only have one output, or else it cannot be a function. So they're just trying to be tricky with how you come up with your input and output. So I'm just going to do one as an example for you. All right. So the input is the number of letters in the word. Okay. Do you catch that? So however many letters are in the word, that is the input. So for example, if we look at the number 6, all right, or the word 6, there are 3 letters, and so that's going to be our input. The output is the number that this word, remember we're using 6. What's the number that represents 6? Well, we write 6. Okay? Now, after you do that for each of them, then you are determining whether it's a function or not. Now, if every input has only one output, then you're fine. But if you have another output of 3 that has a different output, then this cannot be a function. And then the last part you're going to have to answer, part B, is it a function or not? So if it is a function, it's because all the outputs are different. But if it is not a function, it's because 2 different inputs are same. It's because 2 different outputs are assigned the same input, right? So just think back to what you remember about functions, and I think you'll be okay. If not, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Question 11, really straightforward. Maybe they're trying to make up for the previous question. Which transformation will not produce a congruent figure? Well, we know there's 4 transformations: rotations, reflections, translations, and dilations. 3 of them produce congruent figures every time. 1 of them produces figures that are a different size. Okay, so I'm just going to give you that hint. All right, which transformation produces something that is a different size? And remember, we talked about the eye doctor and what happens to your pupils when you go to the eye doctor. Question 12, last one. Basically, you have to find the volume of a cylinder 2 times. There's 2 cylinders they're comparing. Remember, volume equals pi r squared h. So what they're doing is they're giving you enough information on one cylinder, but not enough on the other. But if you solve the first one, then that'll give you what you need. So if we just put the information we have into the formula, when you're lost, just plug it in. All right, they're telling you the volume is 120. We know what pi is. We do not know what r is, and we know that the height is 4. Okay. Now the other equation, we want to find the volume. All right. We don't know what r is, and they did tell us what the height is, and that's 7. So the problem with this second one is there's 2 variables, so we can't solve that. All right. We can't solve that. So we need another piece of information. But what they did tell you is the base of this cylinder and this cylinder are the same, which means that r is the same. So if you solve this for r, in other words, divide by pi on both sides, divide by 4 on both sides, and then take the square root to get r, then whatever r is, you can put in over here and multiply pi times r squared times 7 to get the volume of the second cylinder. I really hope that helps. Guys, keep pushing forward. We are near the finish line for these packets. Once again, email me, leave a comment if you need any help.